everyone, and welcome once again to Caleb Likes Books. Today I have my end of the month update for July of 2025. Talking a bit about the books that I read this month, some books that I got this month, and just generally talking about how things have been going. So, first of all, I have a whole bunch of books to talk about that I had on my TBR, in addition to a few books that I did not have on my TBR that have been added, which I'll talk about when I get to them. Although, funnily enough, I may not actually get to everything on my TBR this month. So I'll explain that when I get to it. But as far as what I did read this month, I read several books this month, and I had a pretty good reading month. I have generally enjoyed everything that I've read quite a bit. First of all, I read Batman the Killing Joke by Krista Faust, and I can't remember the other person's name, but I'm pretty sure that it's two authors. I think that's the name of one of them. I can't remember the other one, but I did read that. That is a novel adaptation of the Batman the Killing Joke graphic novel, and I really enjoyed it a lot. I had a really good time with it. It was a super quick read, super fun, super fast, and I had a really good time with that one. It was really well done in terms of like building the atmosphere that I would expect from Batman, and also the characters very much were both written in an entertaining way, but also very much felt like the characters that I would expect from Batman and things like that. So really good book, really enjoyed it a lot, very entertaining, had a good time with it. I also read Star Wars Death Star by Michael Reaves and Steve Perry, which is a Star Wars Legends book. This was a buddy read with my friends Alex and Jonathan Cohn. We actually did a video that I think would have been posted a week ago today from the time that this video is coming out, I think. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure though, which was a spoiler-free discussion of that book. And if my memory is correct, the day that this video comes out, we have a discussion including spoilers over on Jonathan's channel of that book. So go check that out, both of those, if you are interested in hearing our thoughts on Death Star. All of us really enjoyed it. I probably enjoyed it the most out of the three of us. I thought it was a fantastic book. Really, really good. Kind of exploration of the people on the Death Star and the Death Star itself and things like that. Really cool tie-ins to A New Hope. Generally just a really, really good book that I had a really good time with. Really enjoyed it a lot. I also read The Eyes of the Dragon by Stephen King, which I also enjoyed quite a bit. It probably is my least favorite Stephen King book that I've read so far, but I still enjoyed it quite a bit. It was still a really entertaining book, and I had a really good time with that one as well. Very different from the usual Stephen King that I've read. The 5 other books of his that I've read would probably be classified more so as horror books, even though not all of them are necessarily horror all the way through. When I think of ones like, for example, Revival or something like that. But they all definitely had more of a horror feel to them, whereas this one was very much more fantasy, and I still enjoyed it quite a bit. It was probably my least favorite book of his that I've read, but it was still a pretty good time. Now, the other books that were on my TBR this month, I haven't finished yet. As of time of recording this. By the time this video comes out, I plan to have finished at least one of them. Currently, at time of recording this, I am in the middle of reading Rise from Ruin by Melissa Olthoff. I am right now about 3/4 of the way through that, and I intend to have that finished by the time this video comes out, which I'm enjoying so far. I think the middle portion of it was a little bit, didn't quite grab me as much. The beginning of it I really enjoyed, but I am still enjoying it quite a bit and having a good time with it. It's not a book that's like blowing me away necessarily, but I'm having a good time with it. It's very, very fun, very entertaining. Really enjoying the characters and their banter and dynamics with each other, as well as this book is about basically a dragon rider who ends up bonding with a griffin, so she becomes a griffin rider, and I enjoy the dynamic between the rider and the griffin quite a bit in that book. So it's been a fun time. Enjoying that one, and that's also the first book that I have been reading from Baen Books, which is super cool, finally starting to read some of their stuff. Yeah, had a good time with that one so far, and I will plan to have that finished by the time this video goes up. I am also currently in the middle of reading The Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne, the second book in his Bloodsworn trilogy, which that one's been a little slow. I think I started that right at the beginning of the month, and I just didn't really read it a whole lot during like the first I don't know, 3 weeks or so of the month, or 2 or 3 weeks. And so I have lately been really trying to read that a bit more. So I'm going to really try to get that done by the end of the month. I don't expect I'll have it done by the time this video goes up, but by the end of the month, I'm going to try to have it done. I think right now, at time of recording this, I'm about 40% of the way through it. But I think if I try to continue reading, 30, 40, 50 pages a day or so, I'll have it done by the time, by the end of the month. So hopefully that does happen, but I am enjoying that one so far. I don't think it's quite hitting the same way as the first book, but it's still very good, still enjoying it a lot, still enjoying the characters a lot and all that kind of thing, and there's some pretty cool stuff going on. And of course, I am still relatively early in the book, so I fully expect later on things are going to get really cool, because that is exactly what happened in book one. So having a good time with that one. As far as the other remaining books that were on my TBR, I have not yet gotten to Children of Dune by Frank Herbert, but I do plan to at least start that by the end of the month. By the time this video comes out, I'm hoping, I'm recording this last week as of, you watching this. I'm planning to have Rise from Ruin done by Friday, and I'm going to try to start Children of Dune either over this previous weekend or on the day this video is coming out on Monday. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm going to try to at least start that. I may not finish it by the end of the month, but I'll probably try to be pretty close to finish with it by the end of the month. So looking forward to that. And then finally, there's Nightmare Arcanist by Shami Stovall, which that one I don't know if I'm going to get to this month, but if not, that is going to be the first thing I put on my TBR for August, because I do want to read that. It was sent to me, so I want to read it, and seems kind of interesting and all that stuff. So if I don't get to it this month, that is going to be my first thing next month. Now, you may be thinking, earlier I said that I did fit some extra stuff in to my reading this month, and you might think that's kind of weird considering I haven't even finished my TBR. The reason for that is that at the beginning of this month, I went to my local library and finally got a library card, which I've been planning to do for forever and just never got around to. And one of the perks of having a library card at my local library is that I have now access to the service called Hoopla, which has a whole bunch of different stuff. It's got like movies and music and things like that, but it also has a very big selection of ebooks and audiobooks. And so while I have been working lately, I have been listening to some audiobooks, and I've already finished 2 of them. And by the time this video comes out, I'll have actually finished a 3rd one, possibly even a 4th if I decide to read another one. So I did manage to get in some extra stuff this month, which is very exciting. And that's something I'm definitely going to be utilizing in the future, because that has been a lot of fun. So the first thing that I read was Spider-Man Miles Morales Wings of Fury by Brittany Morris. I believe this is the tie-in book to the Spider-Man Miles Morales video game, which I had a good time with. It was, I think, not as good as the book tying into the first Spider-Man game, which was called Hostile Takeover, but I still enjoyed it. It was still a good time. Very, action-packed and entertaining. Got the characters well from the video game, so I enjoyed that one. I also read Dragon Slayer by Duncan M. Hamilton, which is actually a book that I do have physically. I just had never managed to fit it into my TBR prior to this, but I was looking through what they had, and I looked this book up because I looked up a lot of the books that I still haven't gotten to on my physical TBR just to see what they had available, so I could maybe listen and physically read, depending on, whether I'm working or if I'm able to actually read the physical book or whatever. And I did have this one, and it was a pretty short audiobook, so I figured I would throw that on the TBR as well, and I read that, and I really enjoyed that as well. It's a pretty traditional dragon slaying type story, but it was still really enjoyable, had some good characters, some interesting plot elements, things like that, and it is the first book in a trilogy. I do intend to read book 2 probably sometime later this year, because I did enjoy that one as well. And then finally, the thing that I am currently doing on audiobook is Dan Wells' Mr. Monster, the second book in his John Cleaver trilogy. I read the first book, I Am Not a Serial Killer, I think about 2 years ago or so, and I really, really loved it. And I just haven't managed to get my hands on books 2 and 3 yet. And, once again, this was available on Hoopla as an audiobook, so I figured I would do that one. And again, short audiobook, so I'm getting right through it. I just started it earlier today as of time of recording this, and I'm already almost halfway through it. So I'm probably going to finish it like tomorrow. But really enjoying that as well. It's really, really good. I'm having a really good time with it. Liking it, I think, just as much as the first book. So having a really good time with that one as well. So that is also what I've been listening to recently. So, yeah, actually managed to get in quite a bit on my reading this month, which is really cool. And like I said, by the time this video comes out, I may have even listened to another audiobook. I may be able to squeeze in another one after it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I've been listening to, spending a lot of my time at work recently listening to audiobooks. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll get in another one or two by the end of the month. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see how that goes. So you can probably expect that I may have a few extra books on my TBR next month as well. So we'll see. Still haven't decided what that's going to be yet, though. So that is everything that I read this month. Got through quite a bit and generally have enjoyed everything so far. Next, I do have some books that I got that I would like to discuss. First of all, I have the new releases from Baen Books, which I did pick up a handful of those. And those included The Long Way Home, which I think is book 2 in a series. I don't have book 1, but it seemed interesting, so I figured I'd grab it, and maybe eventually I'll get my hands on book 1 as well, as I think like a sci-fi book. I also got Dancing with Destruction, edited by Jason Cordova, which is a short story collection. Thought it seemed cool. I like short stories, so I figured why not, I'll grab it. I also got Monster Hunter Legion, which is the 4th book in the Monster Hunter series by Larry Correia, and I already have several other books in the series, so this fills in another spot of a book that I now have. And I also got The Winds of Fate, which is the 2nd book in I don't know if it's like alternate history or time travel or what, but it's the 2nd book in a series, and I actually got the 1st book in that series last month, so now I have both of the first 2 books, which is really cool. So yeah, super big thanks to Baen Books for continuing to send me their new releases. I appreciate it, and I'm gonna start trying to read some more of their books here soon. So I appreciate it, and these all seem really cool. The next few things that I got, I did get some books sent to me by an author as well. I got 2 books sent to me by Mark K. McLean. There's a little bit of a funny story behind this. So he emailed me early in the month, I think, or it may have been late in June, asking if I wanted to try the first book in his series called The Hunt for Alesta, and I said yes, and he sent me a physical copy. But it turns out when it got to my house, they had actually sent me a copy of the brand new 3rd book in that series. So I actually ended up getting that book in the mail, and I emailed them and, asked about it and everything, and they sent me the first book in ebook. So I can at least start that series now. So thank you to them for sending that my way. I appreciate it. And it seems kind of cool. I really like the covers on these books, and they seem kind of interesting. So I'm excited to read those eventually. I also was sent There Will Be Thousands by Alexander Robb, which I believe is a self-published book. He reached out to me, asked if I wanted to try out that book. I said yes. He sent it to me. So thank you to him for sending that out to me as well. Don't know too much about it, but it seemed interesting, so I figured I would check that out. The last handful of books that I got this month were also sent to me by my friend Alex, who I mentioned earlier was part of the Death Star videos that I took part in. So if you've seen the Death Star spoiler-free discussion on my channel, you have seen him. That's my friend Alex. And he sent me 5 books, only one of which I expected him to send me. He is a big fan of Ken Follett's book, The Pillars of the Earth. It's one of his favorite books of all time, and him, as well as Jonathan Cohn, we talk, the 3 of us, quite a lot together, and both of them have been trying to tell me, like, go try to find this book, try to get your hands on it and read it. I just haven't been able to yet. I haven't managed to find it in any of my local bookstores, so he took it upon himself to send it to me, because he really wants me to read it under the condition that I put it on my TBR sometime before the end of this year. So I did slot that in. I'm going to try to get that in sometime this fall. But very excited to read that. Everything I've heard about it has been great, and it sounds very much up my alley. Seems really cool, so I'm excited to read that. And I was also very surprised to receive the first 4 books in Stephen King's Dark Tower series. He sent those to me completely by surprise. I had no idea they were coming, so that was really cool. He is also a big Stephen King fan, big fan of the Dark Tower series, and he really also wants me to read that series. And I've been talking to him a lot whenever I read a new Stephen King book and things like that, and he really wants me to read these. So big thanks to him for sending all of those my way. Super excited to read Pillars of the Earth, and also super excited to read Dark Tower eventually. I do plan to probably fit in a few more Stephen King books before I start Dark Tower, but I am hoping I can start that series sometime next year. So very excited about that. So as far as other updates are concerned, things are going well on the channel generally. We are quickly approaching 1,000 subscribers, which is very exciting. I think right now we're hovering around 960 at time of recording this. Maybe a little different by the time this video comes out, I'm not sure. But that is where it is right now. So we are looking like we'll get there very soon, which is very exciting. Yeah, and things have been going pretty good on the channel. Had that Death Star discussion, which I really enjoyed doing, and that's been doing pretty well, as well as some reviews and things like that I've really enjoyed talking about. I really enjoyed reading the books that I've been going through lately, so it was fun to review those. And also I do have a couple videos that I recorded this month that won't be out until August. Like, I have finally recorded a ranking of the Stormlight Archive, which will be coming out in August. I've been planning to do that for months and just never got around to it. So that'll finally be coming out in August. So excited about that, excited about some other stuff as well. Just cutting in here real quick too, because I realized that I forgot to mention something. I was in the middle of editing this and realized I also actually, some of you may remember in previous updates, I have mentioned that I had another channel that I was working on launching. I have now done that. This is actually a relaunch of an old channel that I had where I talked about music, and I am now relaunching it. So it is called Caleb Likes Metal. If you are interested in checking it out, if you're interested in metal music or things like that, I plan to do some rankings, some discussions of bands' entire discographies. I've already got a few that I'm planning on and I've been working on scripts for, as well as some other stuff. I want to like highlight some underrated bands, some bands that don't get much attention, things like that. So that's going to be more so like a casual thing I'm doing on the side. This is more so what I'm really focusing on is the book channel. But I do miss being able to talk about music on YouTube as well, so I figured I would start doing that. So go check that out if you're interested. I'll try to remember to link it in the description, but if I forget, it is just called Caleb Likes Metal. So go check that out as well. Not a whole lot else to talk about, so that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know in the comments if you've read anything cool this month. Let me know what you were able to get to. If you've read any of the books before that I have talked about in this video, let me know what you thought of them as well. If you enjoyed them or didn't or whatever, let me know. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.